Welcome back to Try Business International. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are brought to you by Endurance Sports Wire and by Babbitttville.com. Our guest, the main man from Challenge, the man that we call by one name because we can't pronounce his last name. We call him Zibi. How the heck are you?
Very good, Bob. And thank you for having me with you.
Oh, not a problem. Always a pleasure. So,
great.
The world of Challenge. Came to the U.S., started in Atlantic City, ran to Rancho Cordoba, had last year Rev 3 as part of it. This year, not much in the U.S., but internationally, 49 events?
Right. So U.S. experience haven't been the most successful for the Challenge family.
Why do you
I
think?
have to admit. Well, I think we underestimate the challenges in this market.
Yeah.
I think we definitely need to adapt our strategy and a business model into the circumstances.
Right.
So as painful as it is, sometimes it's better to end with pain than continue pain without end.
That's
so
a great line.
this how we look at it. It
Yes.
was our experience we have made.
Right.
And we'll definitely come back.
Right.
We're working currently very, very intensively on different options and opportunities.
Sure.
But if we come back, then with a strong presence and with a strong strategy for the U.S. market.
The way I looked at it, I think it's very difficult to come into this market unless you are overfunded. You have to have a lot of money in terms of doing the PR that it takes to you're bringing a brand new brand to a market that has a lot of events in it, where people know the Challenge brand internationally, right? So I'm assuming that was part of the challenge.
Right. I think, the marketing money,
Yes.
brand communication, all of those things would cost money. That's one aspect.
Yes.
I think structure and people
Yes.
is another thing.
Yes.
So I think you need a complete package to
Right.
be able to compete in this extremely competitive market. With high saturation on the event, we
There
are hearing
is.
today at the TBI where is the status of the sport in the US. So the growth is pretty inexistent. It's flat,
Right, yes.
right? And a number of events are growing. Number of opportunities to race and participate in the events are growing. So for us, our objective in a global scale is to be the quality leader.
Yes.
And we see a significant space in the US in terms of a quality approach.
Yes.
And therefore, as I have said, we're working on
Yes.
a number of options to get back to this critical market for us as well. As you have said, internationally we enjoyed dramatic growth. We're growing significantly in Asia, in Australia, in Oceania, in Europe, in North America, in Canada, in South America. We have amazing portfolio of events, but US is simply important market.
At this point, when I look at, I had Matteo on from Challenge Venice,
Right.
which is going to be spectacular. Guy who's a proven performer and puts on just very innovative, very
Right.
creative. I
Exactly.
love the idea of, if you're yellow gondola leading the people with the yellow swim caps, red gondola leading the red swim caps. Just that's the type of touch, because of your heritage of Challenge Roth, that you expect from Challenge, right? To think a little out of the box, use the area, the creativity of the area and put on a quality event.
Yeah. As I have said, we want to be a quality leader in a global scale. I think we add a number of innovations into the triathlon world in a global scale. I think, if you think about our prize money ranking, about our races we put in the Middle East, in Bahrain, I think it was a groundbreaking. What do you think about a number of things you have mentioned, but also, I truly believe we have the best people in the industry delivering our races and supporting the growth of our brand. So, quality, renovation, innovation, being ahead of anyone and go beyond and above expectations of our most valuable customers, means the athletes. That's our focus for the growth in a global scale.
The other event I'm very impressed with is Challenge Penticton and what Michael Brown is doing up there. Just the whole idea that next year you'll have 4 world championships. Right? You'll have off-road, you'll have the sprint, you'll have the duathlon and long course worlds. All so over 10 days, 4 world championships.
Yeah.
That's a game changer for that event.
and that's pretty nicely reflect how we adapt the mission and the reason for being of the Challenge family, where we see ourselves as a let's say triathlon endurance sport festival company, where half and full distance will remain the pinnacle, will remain the icing on the cake.
Sure.
But I think we need to deliver opportunities and options for as many people as possible to cross the finish line. It could be juniors, it could be aquathlons, duathlons, it could be 5Ks with the Challenge Women, where we are extremely successful across the globe. And as you have said, Michael and his team in Penticton also having the qualifying races, Challenge qualifying races, where the guys from St. Andrews are qualified for Penticton, and the cooperations with national federations, with the governing body. That's all help to fulfill what Challenge family is all about. I mean, Challenge family means we are inclusive. We are trying to provide as many people as possible a chance to cross the finish line, independent of gender, age, and so far and so on.
When people think of Challenge, they always think of Roth. Challenge Roth is 5,500 people, 1,500 people in relays, 4,000 individuals, the beer mile, the
270,000
the spectators on Solar Hill. It's an epic event. And what's always hard is that's the event that people think, oh well, Challenge is coming here, it's going to be there year one, and that's just the expectations sometimes just can be a little much, don't you think?
Well, I know one.
Are those your expectations as well?
I wouldn't say that, because I know that nothing happened overnight.
Right.
Everything takes time, and we are talking about U.S. in particular, but also other Western European markets where the saturation is extremely high. So you can't expect to start from zero to hero. We see some amazing races coming up in a very quick period of time. We had our race in Denmark, starting from scratch with 1,800 athletes.
That was a good event.
Regensburg, Challenge Regensburg is growing nicely. Challenge in Poland, in Poznan, it's amazingly 3,600 athletes last year. But to transfer Roth to other places where we are talking about 35 years of history.
Yes.
That's probably hard, tough. The birthplace, Roth, all of this is our testing field as well. But this race stands beyond anything in the world of triathlon. I'm always, you have been there. I always tend to say, if people think they know triathlon, they never been to Roth. If they go to Roth, I think they're getting a different perspective.
Different game.
Yeah.
Now, how has your role changed in the last year or so in terms of what you are doing? And are you primarily involved with growing the brand?
Well, actually, I'm 3.5 years now with Challenge Family, and we have been co-CEOs with Felix, for a number of years, and the last 2 years Felix focused very much on Roth.
Right.
I think this race is just extremely demanding from any perspective. So lately my role doesn't really change. I'm just running this team of extremely talented people, and our focus it's quality, it's growth internationally. I'm very often getting asked, what do we expect in terms of number of races, and where do we want to go geographically? We are having right now around 250, 260, 270 requests for new races across the globe. We are not very much about the number of races. We are very much about the quality. How can we improve our quality? How can we really fulfill the role of a quality leader in a global scale? So, getting back to your question, my role and my aims haven't changed a lot in the last 2 or 3 years. It's a bumpy road, as everything in life. You have your wins and you have your setbacks. As long as you are learning from all those things which are not extremely successful or less successful than expected, and you apply those learnings into the real life, and that's still great. And we are having a number of amazing races across the globe. We have fantastic people delivering those races. The dedication is far beyond anything. We have with our strategy and our structure across the globe, we have a very close interaction with local communities. So we are delivering long and lasting value to the local communities. All of the financial aspects, services, it's locally delivered locally. So I think this is a big difference against or compare to other brands in the marketplace, where people are getting in, producing, going back home.
Right.
That's a different business
Different
model.
game.
A different game.
If someone's out there watching and say, "Oh, I know about Challenge Roth," tell me another challenge race that they should do. Another challenge.
Where do I start with that?
Choose your favorite child. Come on.
Wow, it's pretty tough. You mentioned Penticton.
Yes.
I think it's a pretty amazing place. I mean, with a history, it's
Yes.
the oldest
Yep.
North American race, St. Andrews in Canada.
Yes.
It's a smaller race from the scale. It's a boutique.
But beautiful.
But the quality is unbelievable. Our Brazilian races, I mean, those guys are really rocking in terms of
Brazil
quality.
is really rocking in terms of numbers of events and people.
Yeah, Mexico, same thing. I mean, the numbers and the quality. That's where we see our competitive advantage. Not only the scale, but the quality and the match of both aspects. That's probably the most important thing. Our European races, I mean. If you think about Roth,
Yes.
and you go, for example, to Poland,
Yes.
or you go to Almere, Amsterdam, in terms of quality, there is zero difference. It's just simply amazing. The people who are putting the races, the incorporation of the community, maybe in terms of scale, they are smaller. But still, I mean, we have 3,500 people on those races, what I have mentioned, and the hotspots, the hospitality, the surrounding. I mentioned Challenge Regensburg, which is taking place in a beautiful city, which is a UNESCO World Heritage City. I mean, people will cross past bridges built thousands of years.
Wow.
Ago. We have raced in Rimini, where it's a really funny story. I was down there in Rimini, and it's we are running through the city, and the race director is telling me, "Oh, by the way, this bridge have been built before Christus." I said, "Like, what do you mean before Christus?" I mean, like, yeah, before Christus, before the new time started. So it's like blowing you away, and I think this is what we are really thinking about, applying unforgettable destination where people go there and experience much more than only swim, bike, and run.
Yeah.
You can go there to make beautiful holidays, spend a couple of days, enjoy the culture, enjoy the city, enjoy the surroundings. So I think that's what destination needs to deliver. Another fantastic race is Galway in Ireland. I mean, we have number 2 country in terms of international registrations, US.
Yes.
There's a huge population of Irish people in US.
Yes.
So this race will be, I think, extremely popular.
This is a first timer?
It's a first timer. It's a full
How
and a
many
half.
first timer events do you have this year?
I think it's nine first timers.
Is
So we have
that's a good number, so it's not too
good
many?
number. Yeah, it's just about what you can really
What you can
control
handle.
from the quality perspective. We adapt our structure. We have a
Right.
quality manager checking all of the surrounding and circumstances prior to the events. So quality is a big thing for us.
Zibi, as always, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
We got to get back to Roth, man. That's our favorite place.
Roth is definitely special. But I would probably like to invite you to the ETU European Championships long distance in Poland, in Poznań.
Oh,
So we are expecting this year 6,000 athletes crossing the finish line.
wow.
So this will be pretty spectacular. It's in the middle of the city of Poznań, where you have, like Central Park in New York, 1.2 million people in the middle of the city. It's like a park where one loop is 10K. You are finishing in a center of the city. It's simply amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for taking time.
Thanks a lot.
Always a pleasure.
Great.
Zibi has been our guest. Hold on, everyone. We will be right back.